welcome to Make and Take Tuesday. Today we're going to be focusing not so much on card making as we're going to be focusing on making embellishments, specifically flowers. So we're going to be working with Gather at Home, which is a new collection from Carta Bella, and then we're going to be using some dies from Amazing Paper Grace. This is her Cinch and Go flower set from her new Classically Becca collection. And we're also going to be using this foliage die from Carta Bella. This is called Oh Happy Day. And then this I'm really excited about. These are brand new from Spellbinders. And these are called precision layering dies. And this is the Mini Slimline A and B. And the way you use these will cut precise 1/8 inch mats for designer paper. So you would cut your designer paper from the B, and then you would cut your mat from the A, and you end up with a perfect 1/8 inch mat around the edge, which is really cool. And that's what I've used here. So these are really neat if you're a card maker. They're a real time saver. So that's those. And I don't think I have any other dies. No, that's what I'm working with for dies. So I'm going to bring in my foam shaping mat. I'm going to bring in some flower layers. And I'm going to bring in, let me see, my mister and some flower shaping tools. These are golf tools from Heartfelt Creations. They're golf flower shaping tools. It's a set of 4, and I like these because they have the pick on the bottom if you want to add stamens, and then the little shaping tools have these grooves. That's what they're called, the golf groove tool. I'll link on my blog so you can find these. But these, I'll show you how these work. So just a quick basic, I've cut these out of the Carta Bella Card Maker. They've come out with a new Card Maker Mega Pad, and this has both patterns and solids, which is really nice for card making. And then they also have the images, border pieces, all these. These are great if you're a card maker, especially if you're making an A2 or a small slimline. So the first thing I do when I'm gonna shape flowers is I bring in my mister bottle. And the reason you want to do this, you may not know this, or you may know this. If you know this, you can sing Yankee Doodle while I talk. But flowers, paper has starch in it. And when you lightly mist the paper, you release the starch. And then when you, it makes it easier to shape, so you're less likely to end up tearing your paper. But it also releases that starch, so once you've shaped the flower layer, it's going to stay together. So I'm just going to do one of these very quickly for you. And you can shape these so many different ways, but today we're just going to focus on making a cupped flower. So I'm going to bring my tool from the point of the petal down to the center like this. Then I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to use the rounded end. Oops, I missed one. Well, that's okay, because you know what, we can do this one this way. So it's kind of nice to have, you know, flowers don't all look exactly the same, right? Their petals go in different directions. So then just press this. And then I like to come in with my fingers and just kind of do what I call pinching to shape or roll the ends, just to give it a more realistic look. Now, if you don't like the groove in the petal, and you know, everybody has different tastes, you can just use a regular ball stylus. So I'll show you what it looks like with a ball stylus. Like, same thing from the end to the center. And you're just gonna cup these. And then if you want these to go a different direction, you're just going to do the same thing going this way. And then come in, press this down, and now you can come in and you can kind of pinch and twist a little bit. And I'm being very gentle because I don't want to tear my paper, but this just gives them a little bit more of a realistic look. All right. So I want to poke the center out of this one, which is not as big of a deal. I'm not going to do stamens on mine. Today I have prills. I'm going to put my adhesive around this center hole, and then I'm going to stagger the petals like this, and then just press. And that can be a flower all on its own. So if you want to add the little stamen bit that comes with this set, this is easy. You just go around the edges, and then you just cup it in the middle until it turns up. Put your adhesive on the back, lay it in there, and then there's a medium-sized one. You do it the same way. And sometimes you have to bring in a smaller ball stylus with these smaller pieces to get them to cup the way you want them to. And just stagger that in there. And then press it into place. And I don't think we need a third one in there. I'm going to fill this center with my glue. And you can use hot glue if you prefer. I'm going to bring in a piece of paper. Usually I would use my funnel tray, but I'm waiting for my carpet cleaners to come, and my funnel tray is in another room. I forgot to bring it with me. So just fill this and gently spill them off. And you can use whatever color in the center that you like. So now that you've got your center filled, I like to come in with a little distress ink. And I just like to add a little detail to the petals. This kind of makes everything pop. And again, this is optional, right? You don't have to do any of this. This is Victorian Velvet, which I thought was a good match for this soft pink. But you can see this kind of brings out the little details and the bumps and all the things. And kind of get in there. Now some people like to do their layers before they shape them and hook them together, and you certainly can. And then see, while this paper is wet, I'm just going to finish shaping and twisting and making it look like how I want it to look. And I think that's a pretty flower. I like that. All right. And I'm going to have to put another layer of glue down. And I put my thumb in the center of that, which was not great. Just put a few in there. Okay. Now, if you wanted to add glitter once it's dried, I paint the dries clear glitter glue, and I'm going to let this dry. Maybe I'll show you that step. But let's go ahead and do another flower. And I like to have a variety of sizes when I'm making flowers. Just a note on those prills, you always want to put the cap on, because if you don't, what a mess you will have. All right, so let's go ahead and let's bring in our stylus again. And this paper is still damp, so I'm just gonna shape my petals. Flip it over, press, and then this is the next smaller layer. And if you want to make your flowers fuller, you can. A lot of it depends on how big the area is that you're going to be filling with your flowers. So just bear that in mind. And this time I'm going to go ahead and add my ink at this point. But you can see how that just creates a little shading. And I know some people use, daubers, or they You can spray these, you can, I mean, you can actually, I'll show you one more way to do it, which is kind of cool. It's one of my favorites. We'll just get this guy made, but you get the idea. Same thing, and you create your layers, stagger your layers. Now this one tore, that's not a big deal. That does happen. But once you put it in the center of your flower, no one can see. It's really not a big deal. I'm just trying to get these petals staggered. There we go. This wants to line up instead of being staggered. There we go. Like that. And then if we want to, we can even bring in this third small layer. And I'll show you how I like to do this. This is kind of fun. You can just smooch a little ink on a non-stick surface, a non-porous surface. You can spray and then put your petal down in there and press. And it gives it a really beautiful watercolor effect. And it's also like doing 2 steps in one because you're wetting your flower at the same time that you're shaping your petals. Okay, so I'm just going to put my glue here, and I'm going to take this petal and stagger it right in between. There we go. Pretty, pretty. And then I'm going to bring in one of my little stamen pieces. And put this right in the center. Then add my glue. See how pretty? These layers, these make a really pretty little, yes, okay, bring those in. And we're going to wet them. Actually, I'm going to ink them, then I'm going to wet them. Because I want these to be a little bit darker shades, so I'm just pressing and grinding my blending tool into them. I'm going to bring in my water. See how pretty those are? And then these, we just bring in like this. These look almost like a buttercup, maybe. Let's see, do I want to do it this way? Yes. Put your layers, whoops. Together. Look how pretty. Isn't that pretty? It's nice to have different shapes and sizes of flowers in a floral arrangement on a card. Okay, and I want one more of these large layers on the bottom. And what I'm doing here is I'm just kind of pressing. I'm not really rolling. I'm just kind of pressing, and then I'm cupping it. I'm going to take this whole flower and I'm going to stagger it in there. See how pretty? Isn't that pretty? So these would be pretty with a little stamen in the center. And then you can come in while the layers are wet and you can just kind of mash these around and shape them a little bit. And then as they dry, they'll hold that shape, which is really cool. And let's bring in our card and finish our card. So I cut my base to be 6.5 by 7. I actually went 8.5, all right? And then folded to make a pocket, and then scored this at 3.5. So this is our card base, and you can see I've already finished the inside, and I just lined it up with our papers. I made a little gift card holder here. You could stick a tea bag in there too. So there's the inside. Isn't this a pretty collection? And then here's our cover. And this is where I used the mat. And I cut the A, the largest A for this background, and the largest B here. Then I took our little, this is an ephemera, couple of ephemera pieces that I layered over one another. And I put foam tape on the back, layered these little banners from the ephemera pack on the back. And I want this to go right here. And I've got foam tape between the circle and the square piece too. Now I've die cut my greenery, and then I spattered it with a little bit of diluted white paint. And we're just going to glue this down. I'm going to put this piece down first. And then I want this piece to go down like this. And I'm going to bring this piece in and go like this. Or, let me see. Actually, what I'm going to do with this piece is I'm going to bring in a little piece of my foam tape. And I'm going to put it on the stem. And bring it right in like this. So we have a little dimension there. And I'm going to come in with my biggest flower. I'm going to put it right there. Just like that. And you can use your tools to help you set these if you're... And then this one, we're going to bring down like this. Right here. Kind of tipping this way. It's easier to do when those prills have set up. And then a third one. Right here. Then I did these itty tiny flowers. First I think something fell out of my, I thought these were part of this kit, this Cinch and Go flower kit, but they're not. And I'm not sure what these came out of. I know they're Spellbinders, but I'm not sure what kit they came out of. And put a little one in the center. Oops. Okay. Let's put one right here. Oops. That's my tool. Tweezers come in handy for these small little pieces. All right. And then what I'm going to do is take a little teeny tiny half pearl and put it in the center of each of these. There we go. And then, let's see. I think that's good. And I have a bow. Actually, I have two bows. I have this green bow and I have this houndstooth bow. And actually, I really like the houndstooth bow. So I'm going to bend the loops on the bow back and I'm going to put my hot glue on the knot. And I'm going to gently lift the petals of this flower. And I'm just going to push this into place under my flowers to kind of anchor them. And while that's drying, I do what I call fussing the bow. Isn't that pretty? There we go. All right. Very good. I don't think I need to use those. I'll save those for something else. And then I threaded 3 little buttons. And just want to put one right here. And one right here. And then to finish it, I'll just put my little half pearls in the center of those flowers. So it's a really sweet, really simple little card. These are so cute. You could make these would be great as place cards on a party table. This size is such a sweet little size. I like it. Mini Slimline. There we go. Just press these layers down. All right, guys. Thinking maybe I want to turn one of these this way, inside out, and kind of squish it and tuck it in up here. Did you see how I did that? I just turned it inside out and squished it together. And I'm just going to stick it in right up there to kind of finish that curve. And I'm going to do the same thing with this one. See, it was like this. I just turned it like this, and I'm going to squish it. I'm going to tuck it in right here like that. There. And now we've got this pretty semicircular curve. So I've added the half pearls. And now that particular flower comes with this itty bitty leaf, and I'm just using a pair of tweezers and I'm pinching that leaf up around the center of the tweezers just to give it a little shape. And then I'm just going to set it in underneath my flower. So see, just a little pinch. I've got one more. All right. What a cute card. So sweet. I love the size of this. These would be really, really pretty at a party. All right, guys, that's it for me, Kathy Clement, Kathy by Design. I hope you enjoyed this little flower shaping adventure. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below to get those little prills out of there. And I'll be back on Thursday with a Throwback Thursday, and then next week with another Make and Take Tuesday featuring some other new collection or new tool that I have. Thanks for joining me. Go get your craft on. Bye.